welcome back to my channel. My name is Vicki, and if you're new here, we live in the San Francisco Bay Area. We're a family of 4, and we're on a journey to financial independence. We're on a journey just to be on a journey. I would say a debt-free journey, but you never know. We're back in debt. In any event, we have found that sinking funds have been such a game changer because it allows us to spend money where we plan to, and it's not a crisis and it's not an emergency when we already have little buckets set aside for, all these different things. So that's what I'm going to do today, is just set up the sinking fund categories in my Erin Condren, show you how I keep track of them here, and talk through like what we're going to be putting aside for the month. And then what I do is I stuff the envelopes twice a month. So every 2 weeks when I get paid. I am thinking of changing that to stuff weekly just to add more content, to be very frank. But we'll see if I go ahead and do that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and set this up, and I'll speed through this and I'll come back as I'm putting in the dollar amounts. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk through these categories. So these are the categories. This is going to be, let's zoom you in. This is going to be what the starting balance is, adding, subtracting, and then the balance for the end of the month. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and put in all of my categories and come back and chat with you here in a second. Okay, so I'm sure you can hear the vacuum going. I apologize. So let's go ahead and talk through how much we're putting in. So I'm just looking at my categories from last time. I guess I could pull out my draft one, but let's just go ahead and do this here. So for birthdays, we do put in $100 for the month. Car maintenance is $100 for the month. Car DMV, we put, I think it's 60. Yep, 60. Christmas is $250. Date night is $25. Our emergency fund, we're not adding to it, but I do keep a line item because I like to keep the balance, and if we use it, I like to document that. Haircuts, it's $60. Right? Yeah. Life happens is $75. And then $50 goes to kids' clothes, $50 to kids' miscellaneous. Medical gets $50 as well, and that goes towards prescriptions and copays. Pest control gets $40. School gets nothing this month. Sports gets $100. Summer gets $100. And vacation is getting $100. So we got to start beefing that up for next year. Okay, condo gets $100 as well. The house maintenance gets $250, and property taxes gets $500. So we do, we have no mortgage, but we do have to save for property taxes, and we live in California. So the good news about that is they don't increase too much. I think it's capped at 1.5% or 2.5%. I can't remember. Anyway, so that is the setup of all the categories and how much we're putting in by the month. And then what I do is I, divide that in half. The sinking funds tracker, what we do is week over week, I check in on video and I show the date. I show, let's see here. We talk about the amount of how much we used, right? Because I'm just going to add and then put the total here, but we do show line item. and then the fund that we use. So is it coming out of medical, kids miscellaneous, what have you, and then a description. So not only do I want to know what fund I'm using, but I also want to know what the heck did I buy, because honestly, even week over week, I forget. So if I have to refer back, like, hey, how much did we spend on the dentist? How much did we spend on, I don't know, the bike we bought, whatever, which I think that's going to be Camila's birthday present in August. Okay, so that is what's going on with the Sinking Funds tracker, and it's pretty self-explanatory, I think, but that is the spread. That is what we got going on for Sinking Funds. And, you know, I didn't talk about a question of the day, so let's do this. Why don't we pick a question, and the question will be, let's see, what was the first thing you saved money for as a kid? I'll tell you, my first thing I saved money for was my class ring. I don't know if they still do that, but in my high school, you had to, you know, you could buy yourself a class ring, and it would have the name of the school, your mascot, if you were in a sport. And yeah, so I saved up for my class ring, which I don't even know where it is today. But that is the first thing I saved money for. So I'm curious, what was the first thing that you saved money for as a kid? So with that, I'll leave you with this setup. Please consider subscribing. Please consider smashing that like button, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.